and welcome to another edition of Whiskey at Work.
Not really.
Here during Sober October.
It's bullshit.
How has it been going for you, Rob?
It's been going pretty good for
Really?
me because I don't believe in this crap.
You haven't partook in any of this yet? No? It seems like
I didn't have any on Sunday.
Well, it seems like you've had a kind of a busy month, really. You seem to have been working more than normal.
I gotta be picking up the slack from all
Well,
these radio people.
I'm just
go on
saying,
vacation for a week.
It doesn't seem like you've been in my office near as much.
It's because
just
you haven't been
hanging
in your
out.
office.
I've been, yes, on vacation, relaxing, enjoying.
Yeah, the Carolinas.
time.
It sounded like you had a great time down there.
You know, nothing against the South, but I'm over you. I don't want to be in the South
I
anymore.
hope our one follower's not from there.
Jeff from Texas.
Yeah, that's
screw
not
you,
really
Jeff
the
from
South.
Texas.
I mean, it's South, but it's not what people think of as the South.
No, that's true. Not over
People
there.
don't think of Ohio in the Midwest, but that's apparently
I
where
know.
it's at.
That's a. We can do a whole series on just what is the Midwest.
200 miles from the Atlantic Ocean, right there in the heart of the Midwest, walking to Ohio.
Well, we're the West, right? I mean, we're technically the West. Although I'd consider.
Oh yeah, when there's only
sure.
1,500 miles between here and the coast, and we're in the Midwest. We're in the West, sure.
We really need to pad this one out because I have a feeling we're not going to go very long on this topic right now.
Find whoever came up with these stupid designations as to what's in the West.
It's Sober October, and we're going to call Dan Bruner from Timmins Market out on the carpet for this one. Okay? Dan,
Well, he was nice enough to provide it for us.
First off, correct. Yes, he was. He was 100% nice enough to make us not pay for this. All right? Now, we haven't tried this, but this, if you watched our last video, we decided this entire month to drink non-alcoholic whiskey.
If you haven't watched the last video, wait till November before you start in back on the good stuff.
Oh boy, Rob is going to be obliterated on that first November one.
It's gonna be a hoot.
Sexy AF is what this one's called.
And it's the AF doesn't mean what you think it would.
No, but it'd be cooler if it did.
It really would.
You know, the double entendre there. All right, that's the whole reason why they did it. Supposedly it means alcohol-free. But according to the kids on the social media, it means something totally different. But I get it. And it's frisky whiskey. Did you notice that on the bottom?
Well, at least they got a frisky way of spelling whiskey because it ain't.
This is 100% alcohol-free. And again, Dan Bruner, Timmins Market, got this for us. And we just don't know how we feel about Dan anymore.
I thought you liked us, Dan. After all we've done for you.
I don't like the fact that we've got to shake our whiskey before you pour
It's
it.
because it's not whiskey.
Well, we've made that perfectly clear. It's alcohol-free. Oh my God, is it going to go like a pop can? Is it? Oh, I suppose it kind of does have a little. All right.
Oh, good. It's nothing like whiskey with a head on it.
In our last video, we kind of explained a lot of this is all. It's all plant-based, is what this is. And I don't understand my issue with it. And again, I don't want to go into this video bashing this just because it's not real whiskey and that's what we like to drink. But my issue with it is how does anybody think this tastes like real whiskey?
Clearly, whoever is making. Well, I haven't had it yet, so why don't we hold off?
Well,
on the
maybe we
complete
should.
and utter judgment as to
Boy,
that
it's-
is way too much non-whiskey
It's
whiskey.
thick. It's almost syrupy,
good.
isn't it?
I don't know.
Well, look how it poured out of there.
Oh God.
Does it smell like the one we had last time?
Kind of.
I'm getting a real ginger smell from this one. Are you catching that?
Yeah, it's ginger and citrus and.
Oh, you're going to do it. All right, I'll let you go first. Is it similar to the other one? The other one we did a couple of weeks ago. What do you think?
You told me I couldn't be negative, so I really like this one.
No, not that you can't be negative. We know what it is. We know what it's trying to do.
Yeah,
It's-
it needs to try harder.
And maybe for the purpose in which it was created, it does its job just fine. Obviously, it sells well. This thing went to the
Does it? We
San
didn't buy it.
Francisco Spirits competition, okay? The World Spirits competition in San Francisco. This won double gold. That's like the highest honor you can get from there, isn't it?
I don't know, but it really makes me trust the validity of the San Francisco World Spirits Competition if this one's winning anything.
Well, I don't understand because it's not a spirit, so I don't quite get how they can. But I suppose they have categories for everything. All right.
It.
Okay. This is not as bad as that one that we had last time. This tastes more like a. It tastes already like a mixed whiskey drink without that bite of the whiskey.
It does taste a little cocktaily.
Sure.
But it's got a weird.
Well, it's that ginger. That's when I'm still getting a ton of that.
It's got a weird, like, you ate a handful of grape skins. I mean,
that's a pretty good definition, I guess.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think it's going to be cool like a grape, and then it just sucks all the moisture out of your mouth.
I don't hate this. Not like that last one we had.
Well,
this is very sweet, though, and it doesn't. You know what? Because it doesn't have that that vinegary aftertaste that other one
It
had.
doesn't have that same vinegar aftertaste. That is true. But it doesn't have that burn either.
No, there's none of that burn that makes it feel like it's a whiskey.
Which makes it actually feel like
a watered down cocktail.
Right.
But my question with something like this would be then, if you're going to make, say, an old fashioned out of it, and you're putting in the simple syrup and you're putting in the bitters, that simple syrup, the sweetness to it, put in with this, which is already sweet, boy, it just seems like it'd be way overpowering. Unless you don't put any simple syrup in, just the bitters and the orange and the.
If you're going to make a cocktail out of it, I think I'd use the Monday instead of this one.
Yes, because that's going to get you the burn that you're looking for in a cocktail.
If you want to try this, I'd put a splash of soda or bourbon in it, which is probably ruin.
That might not be a bad idea. Where did you have some back here? Did you sneak one back?
Yeah, I can't drink any more of
all
that.
the time. All right, let's try a
But
little
last
experiment here.
time that screwed up the flavor of
Did
this.
it? Let's try this. This is Wild Turkey 101. Put about half and half in with it. This is totally defeating the purpose of why this whole thing was created.
See, that's better.
Right? Did you put some in?
No, I have what's ever left in my glass. Last time it screwed it up so bad it made me afraid.
That didn't help. Nope, that didn't help at all. It does. It makes both of them bad. It makes both of them taste terrible.
Maybe what you need to do
I could recommend that.
if you're gonna do that, you just take this and then you just run this by your glass.
to give it the illusion that you poured something in there.
It's kind of like the only old martini. You just take the vodka and then you take the vermouth and you just run it by it really quick.
God, gross. Okay, I can't be negative with this one right now. I wouldn't classify it as. A second, he'll be okay.
I'm gonna die.
I can't classify it other than anything. It's just a fruit drink. It's just a.
Well, I think they're all going to be that unless you can find one that's actually distilled, which apparently you didn't.
We're still trying to find, yes. Okay, Frisky Whiskey, Sexy AF is what it's called. It's a winner. I mean, it's a legitimate spirits competition winner for whatever that's worth. Okay, it's just so hard to explain this drink. It's so hard to convey to you what this is without you actually tasting it.
And then question everything that you've ever heard of the San Francisco World Spirits Competition.
I mean, that's fair. That's totally fair. Coming up, though, speaking of non-whiskey related things, which is kind of what
where we're
doing
at.
here.
Yeah, thanks
We've got
again.
November 13th, Mountain West Beer Fest, which is coming back because we didn't do it last year. So we're 2 years away from our last one, correct?
Yep.
And from what I'm understanding, there's now more than 50 local, regional, and national distilleries that are going to be there, right?
Yes, that is the case. I can only assume that means there's going to be over 200 beers to sample.
Oh, easily.
I would think
That's a
everybody
crazy
have
amount.
at least 4 of them in their booth.
Please don't try to sample all of them, but at least get your tickets
Or
to
do,
go do
and get a
some.
ride home.
The thing with the beer fest, make sure it's a couple extra bucks, but get the VIP tickets. They make it the entire event, it just kicks the whole thing up a notch because you get in an hour early, you get your own food, there's not the giant crowd, and you just kind of get that 60 minutes to linger. Well, you get a whole extra hour at the event, too.
It's the getting in early without the crowd that'll really help.
Right, and then general admission, so it's noon to 5 if you've got the VIP, 1 to 5 if you have the general admission tickets, and you can get them through
themonument.live.
So pick them up, and let's see you November 13th at the... Oh, it won't be in the new part.
No, it'll be in it's still in the Rushmore Hall.
In the Rushmore Hall, yeah. But you can go tour. You can kind of wander around that new area a little bit if you haven't seen it yet.
Can you?
Yeah. Well, this Saturday's their open house.
Oh.
But I think anything after that, you'll be able to go ahead and just, make yourself at home. Yeah, grab a whiskey and head on into one of the seats you'll probably never be able to sit in, but just go enjoy it.
Encouraging that. Just bring your flask down and wander around.
Exactly. Anyway, Sexy AF is what this one's called. Dan Bruner, Timmins Market, thank you for not making us pay for this. We really, really appreciate that. Although I disagree with you, Dan, this isn't terrible.
If you do get anything in, Dan, that isn't terrible, that actually is whiskey that you don't want us to pay for too, we'll gladly come out and get it from you.
You know where to find us, buddy. Anyway, thanks for watching this edition of Whiskey at Work.